We're going to talk about Chelsea now, the club, but have started playing goal music after finding the net in recent matches. Yep, a little bit of Chelsea dagger after Chelsea score. For some reason, I thought that was the norm. I thought they kind of always had a bit of Chelsea dagger after a game.
It's sort of changed in recent years, isn't it? There's been different music to goals. I was at the Liverpool game and the atmosphere was incredible. But that was, first and foremost, it was the sides that made it so incredible, because it was literally ping pong of you have a go, we have a go, and the fans were on their edge, and it was such a tight game for a long period.
Yeah, the fans not having this kind of music in terms of goal celebrations.
It didn't matter when they got that one though, the 1-2-1. They seemed pretty delighted at that moment.
I'm sure they didn't.
Just afterwards complained about the music.
Yeah, they've signed a petition, some fans, asking for music to be cut and a return to a time when goals were celebrated without music. 3,000 Chelsea fans have signed it so far. One of the fans who has signed this petition is Chelsea fanalist Kraig Dixon, who joins us now. Good morning, Craig.
Hi, Craig. Yeah, tell us, because I was saying there, I was at the Liverpool game over Chelsea. I was there live, and it was unbelievable atmosphere. It felt like no one cared about the goal music then. Has it become a bigger problem for, say, less mundane games?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you say, that sort of last-minute winner, I don't think anyone cared what was being played, and Maresca ran down the touchline, everyone going mad. But yeah, the previous games before that, when they brought it in this season, Fulham, Benfica, Brighton, it's been really off-putting, actually. I think for all of us who weren't expecting it, it just sort of came out of the blue. It was thrust upon us, and yeah, it's a very odd sensation when you've been used to, sort of, in my experience, nearly 40 years of celebrating goals at Stamford Bridge, and then suddenly you hear this really loud noise come through. It's a very odd experience.
What if the club said is their reasoning towards playing this music after a goal then?
Well, I think this is one of the issues that we have, those of us who have signed a petition, is they haven't really communicated. I think it was brought up at one of the fans' forums, and kind of one of the supporters' representatives there said, look, we don't think this is going to go down well. But yeah, there was never anything sent out, correspondence or anything like that to season ticket holders, etc. It's just kind of just been, decisions been made, and nobody seems to have really explained why they've decided to change it after all this time.
Does it feel a bit cheesy to you? Is that, that sort of reaction, like the darts when they finish the set and it all gets, goes up to a hysteria, but that works for darts but doesn't really work for football?
100%, yeah, that's exactly it. And again, there's other sports, like you say, darts being one, and with the American owners, obviously a lot of American sports, which I've been to, and you enjoy that kind of that razzmatazz and all of that. But that's that sports culture, and it adds to that. Whereas I think with football, certainly, as I say, at Stamford Bridge, that's never been the case. And yeah, it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel natural.
Do you know what, Craig? You're bringing me back to a conversation that we had not too long ago on talkSPORT Breakfast, when Millwall, Cass, your former Millwall, they decided that they were going to do light shows. I think five games a season. I think then something to do with a new contract or a new sponsor. They were going to do 5 light shows a season. Now, they kicked off. Some Millwall fans were not happy about this. We are Millwall. We don't need light shows, and then we had this conversation in the office, and a number of the team were like, yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, we're trying to make football something it's not, this Americanised look that we have to have light shows and music. And I remember a number of rugby players were kicking off after there was a try. They decided to introduce Freed from Desire anytime there was a try, and purists find it really, really annoying that we're trying to change this in football. But also, Craig, is it really a big deal? Like, it's just a little bit of Chelsea dagger after a goal. Like, what really is the problem there?
Well, yeah, I think we touched upon it. It's a problem that I don't think ever needed fixing. Like the sound of a crowd celebrating, I think it's probably the best sound you can have. Certainly in football, it's because it's natural. It's it's authentic, and yeah, it just feels like again it's part of a wider issue, as I say, of perhaps the club not really sort of listening to supporters and things like that. But generally and genuinely, people have kind of criticised me for saying this, but it's the truth, and I think a few other people have said it. When you are actually celebrating a goal, because you're not, it's not rehearsed, you don't know every goal you celebrate is slightly different. When this music comes on, it blasts so loud. I found with a couple of the games, not so much the Liverpool game, because as I say, you kind of drowned it out. Everything was so exciting then, but the Benfica game, for example, a few days before that, I found myself stopping myself celebrating because
you were bugged by the music.
It kind of it
overwhelmed
you can't avoid it. It overwhelms you and it stops you in your tracks, and suddenly you realise, oh, I'm not celebrating. Everyone else is sort of clapping along, and I always say it's a bit like when I was a kid going to like other children's birthday parties. It was that feeling, and it's not what you want, is it, at the football, really?
No. Is it? I'll ask you this, Craig. Is it common elsewhere at other clubs that have had a similar problem?
Yeah, I think a lot of clubs over the years have had it, and I think we've always been, I've certainly always felt like, at least we, with all the things in modern football nowadays and all the changes that have happened over the years at Chelsea, that's one thing that we've never had. Whereas other clubs, I think, that's really bad. And again, each club's slightly different. I think some have embraced it maybe more than others. But yeah, when you've got a packed 42,000 stadium at like Stamford Bridge, I just think it's completely unnecessary.
Well, you're one of 3,000 people who have signed this petition for these tunes to stop being played when there's a goal at Stamford Bridge. Kraig Dixon, Chelsea analyst and fan, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it, and I hope it changes for you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, guys.
Cheers,
Lovely.
Craig.
Thank you. You can share your thoughts with us on this morning. Does your club, when you're at the stadiums, play music when there's a goal scored? Does it do your nutting? Is it something you want to see out of football, or is it really not that big of a deal?
Yeah.
8, 10, 89. I mean, it really is preference, right? Yeah.
I've been to a lot of Chelsea games, so, because I get asked to go to watch and just, a club that I formerly played for. So the atmosphere against Liverpool was extraordinary. It's the best I've seen for years at Chelsea.
It was rocking.
It was absolutely rocking. And, we now, you can get a bit biased, can't you? Because you look back at the past and you go, oh, nostalgic when it was like that. And that was a one-off game. But generally, if the fans seriously have a problem with it and they don't like it, they always do what they do. They have the right to, ask for no more, please.
Yeah. Well,
and I have heard it at different stadiums. Some music that comes on unnecessary.
The
just
women's
unnecessary.
games, so they do it a lot at the women's games, and I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
I really don't. But if you are a die-hard Chelsea fan and you've been in the stands for that long, and you're starting to hear music after goals, you're seeing these changes in football, and it's been changed enough, it's been sanitised enough.
Yeah.
Do you need that music after a goal? You can understand the frustration, but also there's probably more pressing matters.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.